Good morning, everyone. It's Paul the Grigley, and we are going to be doing a 10 leadership lesson. We've got part one, part two, and part three. And this week we're going to do part one, and very, very excited about it. I think you'll get a lot out of this. And we're going to talk about three key components in part one, part two, and part three. So I hope everybody's doing well. We're getting into Q4 right now, and boy, it's been a great year, and chipping away. I know it's an election year. We'll see what happens with that, but we're doing well, and I hope everybody is doing well, and you've made incremental improvements on yourself, in your leadership, and in your business, and you got that what I call balance, and everybody's very, very familiar with that. So let's begin on the first leadership step. I'm going to tell you about the three that I'm going to talk about. And that is one, embrace continuous learning. Okay. Number two, foster team chemistry. Huge. Okay. We're going to talk about that. And number three, see and look for potential in people. So the first thing we're going to talk about is embrace. Now, I like to talk about this continuing education. It goes on and on and on, but continuous learning is really important. I'm a student every day of my life. I keep learning. I don't care what it is. I try to learn. I try to understand. I ask questions, so on and so forth. So constantly and continuously read at least 2 books a month. That's number one. Number two, take courses, maybe 1 or 2 courses that you like to take at a local community college. Number three, everything that you're doing when it comes to this is a mindset. And your mind has to be just as strong as your body. Okay? And then read other people's biographies. Very, very, very interesting where you see these people came from to where they are today and how young they were. I wasn't as fortunate, and probably you and I and everybody else is not as fortunate to have really, really good mentors growing up. And I've always said this, and I'm going to continue to say this: your parents only can teach you what they've learned, and you got to develop your own path. And then, in addition to that, you got to decide where you want to go, where you want to be, and take it to the next level, and leave it to your children underneath that. Okay, all people who are at the top of their game, okay, constantly curious in the understanding of human development. I talk about self-development. I talk about human development, growing and developing exponentially. There's a lot of things that come across our life, and they're hard decisions to make. But sometimes the hard decisions are the good decisions, because wherever there's an exit, there's an entrance, and there's something better for you. You can't look at the sad side of things. And I hate to say this, but at the end of the day, you got to look out for yourself, you got to look out for your team, and you got to look out for the people that are in your circle. And I think that's extremely important. All right? So you got to understand human development, a commitment to learning. One of the words that I use is called CANI, CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. Every day, every month, every year, you're either growing and you're developed and you're climbing, or you're sliding. There's no in between. Number two, foster team chemistry. Now, I have to say to you that this one is a big biggie. And wow, this one is not easy. I have to tell you, it is not easy. In psychology, they say for every negative person, it affects 12 positive people. So when you think about that, how impact that toxicity is, it's unbelievable. So I want to say this to you: the people that are in business, it's not the people that you fire that make your life miserable. It's the people you don't fire that make your life miserable. When you hire, hire slowly. When you fire, fire quickly. because you don't want this thing to prolong. Cut it with a sharp knife and move on. It's nothing against this individual, male or female, okay? We all have weaknesses. We all have strengths. People don't get along for certain reasons or one another. It doesn't have to be that way, but sometimes there is. But don't take it personal, okay? Help to build confidence in each member. That's all this is a confidence game. And how do you get confidence? You get confidence by doing, okay? Taking a chance and keeping it simple. So sometimes people make things a lot more difficult than what they are. They try to confuse you so you don't understand. It's BS. It's a confidence game. Build your confidence, have self-esteem, and always do the right thing. It's easier to do the wrong thing. It's a lot harder to do the right thing, okay? Through your actions as a leader, you're going to get better results. So if you say something, do it. Get it done in a reasonable amount of time, okay? See the potential in other people. So when you see strength in other people, you see strength in your team. There's nothing to talk about. And boy, when you build unity and you build a good team and people get along, and you don't ever hear in any good organization, that's not my job. That's not for me to do it. He does it. I don't do it. I'm not doing that. That's not chemistry. That's not fostering good chemistry within the organization. When you got good chemistry, and by the way, whether it's in business or whether it's a football team, a basketball team, or whatever, when you got good chemistry and people are pitching and catching and getting along, it's a game changer. That's the team that's going to win. Okay? Inspire through compelling vision. As a leader, you got to have a vision. You got to have a nice vision. It's got to be a clear vision. It's got to be a vision of understanding of where the company's going and where your people are going. People want to know where they're going. And there's two major things that you have to do, okay? And it's hard. It's not easy. You got to inspire and you got to motivate. And a lot of times we don't sit down in the performance appraisals or the evaluations and ask the individual what motivates them, what inspires them, what are you looking for me? And them are key questions that you must ask, okay? This is very important one, very important. What motivates people being part of something bigger than seeing the big picture? They got to see the big picture. There's no question about that. Make sure things are going in the right direction. Stand back, look at your business, see if it's going in the right directions. Yes, you got to make changes. You got to make alterations. You're going to make changes. There's things that you're not going to like to make changes in. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your people, and you got to do what's best for the organization. You know, as a leader, you know, I can remember when I was back in Massachusetts, my plaque didn't say Paul J. DeGrigley, CEO. My plaque said Paul J. DeGrigley, Head of Support. And my job is to make it easier for everybody in the company, especially my director. Take the stress away from them, the anxiety, make them understand it's not always going to be peaches and cream. Believe me when I tell you, I've had more fights, struggles, setbacks, obstacles, defeats, and disappointment in my entire life than anything else. But I learned from them, and then I carried on. That's the important thing. Small steps lead to big step. Progress follows purpose. Progress follows purpose. That's it. So that's part one for this week. Don't forget the Paul Joseph Hair Care line. It's growing exponentially. Orders are flying off the shelf. They're going into the salon. The price point is there. The juice in the bottle is there. The fragrance is there. I dealt with a chemist that is unbelievable. A great company that I work with. They're phenomenal. And we understand what the needs are of the consumer so they don't have to spend $40-some for a bottle of shampoo And no wonder why they go to Costco and Sam's Clubs and BJ's and they buy this cheap stuff that's not good for their hair. So educate them, educate them, educate them. Listen, they can buy it on Amazon, I get that, but they're not going to get educated like you educate your clients. Protect your client, protect their investment, and that's the key. My last Facebook, you saw this and you heard this. You've seen a 27% increase in this industry, and it's going to be more, and it's going to be exaggerated. I mean, back in 2019, we were paying $166 for a balayage. Today, we're paying $240. It's grown exponentially because everything else is going up, and we got to go up. We're not going to sit in the back seat. We need to make money. We need to be profitable, and we need to take care of our customer. Women will spend money. They will pay more for value than anything else. So I want you to think about that. All right. Have a great day. Have a great week. I appreciate you listening. And then the most important thing is share this with as many people as possible. And we'll see you next week with part 2 of the 10 leaderships, the best in the world. And I think that's good. BIW, best in the world. Okay. Take care. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. See ya.